Hi scholars, let's look at TEK 4.8c. I can solve problems that deal with measurements of length, intervals of time, liquid volumes, mass, and money using addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division as appropriate. In this particular video, I'm just going to focus on intervals of time, which is basically elapsed time and using clocks. So if you want to learn about the other ones, go to the YouTube video that says TEK 4.8c, and then next to it it'll say which part of the TEK that the video is about. So let's get started. Basically with elapsed time, intervals of time, there are three ways you can be given the information. You can be given a starting point and an ending point, and you have to find out the time in between. Or you can be given a starting point and you're given the time and then you have to find the ending point. Or you're given the ending point, you're told how long it was, and you have to find the starting point. So I'm going to show you how to figure out all three, and it's very easy. Just use a number line. Okay, so there are two things you need to know about elapsed time. The first thing is how to count hours and how to count minutes. Now, if you don't know how to read a clock, I suggest you learn how to do that first before you watch the rest of this video, because I'm not going to be teaching how to read time. I'm going to be going straight into elapsed time. So from hours on a clock, we're going to just pretend like we took the clock and stretched it wide open, and it's now a number line. A clock technically is a number line, but it's just a round number line, so we're going to just take that number line and make it flat. So anything you have, any start time, let's say 9 a.m., and let's say I want to add 3 hours. This is what you do. You draw 3 hills to represent an hour. So that's 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Okay, so 9 plus 1 hour is 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock plus 1 hour is 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock plus 1 hour is now 12. And since I've hit 12, it's now p.m. instead of a.m. Okay, so same thing if I were to do this backwards. You could do the same thing. So suppose I was given let's say 4 p.m. I have to go backwards 3 hours. I would do this. 4 back, 1 hour back is 3 p.m. 1 hour back, 2 p.m. 1 hour back, 1 p.m. So that's if you get a start time and you're given the time, so you need to figure out the end time, or you're given the end time and you're told how long it was, and then you have to give the start time. There's one more way that I need to show you, and that would be middle time, where you get the beginning and you get the end. So I'm going to just make up, a time like 1 o'clock and then 4 o'clock. So the start time and the end time. So you just have to basically start here and get to 4 o'clock. Do whatever you have to do to get to 4 o'clock. So 1 o'clock plus 1 hour is 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock plus 1 hour is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock plus 1 hour is 4 o'clock. And so I can say my answer is 3 hours. Now, you'll be getting questions where this will have minutes, and so that's a whole different strategy, but at least you know your first goal is to get as close as you can. And if you don't have to add minutes, that's great. So I'm going to do a few more examples. Let's say your start time is 6 o'clock and you need to add 5 hours. So 6 plus 1 hour is 7 o'clock. 6 plus 1 hour is 8 o'clock. 1 more hour, 9 o'clock. 1 more hour, 10 o'clock. 1 more hour, 11 o'clock. Okay, now you can also have it backwards. Suppose they tell you the end time. You know, she walked out of the movie theater at 5 p.m. and the movie was 3 hours long. So then I would do 5 backwards, 5 o'clock backwards, 1 hour is 4 p.m., 4 o'clock backwards is 3 p.m., 1 more hour backwards is 2 p.m. So you could say she walked into the theater at 2 p.m. Now let's look at another example to where it's not right on the hour. It's actually going to be like 3:45 p.m. Okay, what do you do in that situation? You add 4, let's say they want you to add 4 hours. So 3:45 plus 1 hour is 4:45. 4:45 plus 1 hour is 5:45. 5:45 plus 1 hour is 6:45. So you're adding 1 hour. You just need to be aware you're going all the way around the clock. So like it's just like saying 345 plus 100, you get 445. You know, your numbers stay the same, just the hundreds place changes. So it's kind of like the same thing. When you're at 3:45 and you're adding 60 minutes, which by the way, don't add 3:45 plus 60. Doesn't work that way. But I'm just trying to make a point that when you go from 3:45 to 4:40 plus 1 hour, it just the hour changes. The minutes don't change. Okay? So same thing. Let's say, you know, she walked out of the theater at 2:15 p.m. and it was a 2-hour movie. So go back 1 hour, it's now 1:15. Go back 1 hour, it's now 12:15. She walked into the theater at 12:15 p.m. Now suppose you're given the beginning and the ending and you're expected to find the time in between. So let's say 7:25 p.m. and then 10:25 p.m. So your goal is to go from here and reach 10:45. So I would do 7:25 plus, it'll be 1 hour, so it'll be now 8:25. 8:25 plus 1 hour is 9:25. 9:25 to 10:25 is another hour. So I count the number of hours, and then my answer is the movie was 3 hours long, or dinner and an activity was 3 hours long, or, you know, whatever. Okay, so I want you to do this easy question. So-and-so woke up at 8:30 a.m. and spent 2 hours to make breakfast, eat, shower, change, and clean the house. What time did she finish? So I want you to use the strategy that I just showed you and fill out the number line and write down what the ending time will be. Press pause and then press play when you're ready to check. So you want to add 2 hours. So 8:30 plus 1 hour, and I would document on here every time you draw an hour. It's now 9:30. And then 1 more hour. It's now 10:30. So that was easy. Okay, so now we're going to talk about minutes. So let's say something started at 9 a.m. and whatever you're trying to accomplish took 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, so the way to do that is you would do your normal 2 hours, so 9 o'clock plus 1 hour would be 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock plus 1 hour is now 11 o'clock. Okay, now that I've done that, I usually check it off, like, okay, that's done. Now I just need to do 30 minutes. So then, like, I kind of draw, like, half of that hill, because, like, that's probably 1 hour, and so I want to show that it went halfway. And so then I'm going to show that 11 o'clock plus 30 minutes is 11:30. So, you know, right above it, I would just document and show my evidence that it's 30 minutes. And so my end time would be 11:30 a.m. Let's look at another example, and let's look at it going backwards. So let's say my ending time was 4:45, or actually let's stick with 4:30. And the activities, so I finished the activities at 4:30 p.m. It took 4 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, I don't like my handwriting. Let me do that again. 2 hours, 30 minutes. What time did we start the activity? So this is obviously going backwards, so you would start here and go like this. So you have two options here. You could go back 2 hours and then do the 30 minutes, or you could go back 30 minutes, because if you notice that's at 4:30, and then do your 2 hours. So just so you can see what I'm talking about, like you could do 4:30, back 1 hour, 3:30, back 1 hour, 2:30, back 30 minutes, 2 o'clock. But you can also do the minutes and then the hours. So if I went back 30 minutes, it's going to be 4 o'clock. Then go back 2 hours. So 4 o'clock back 1 hour is 3 o'clock. And then back another hour is 2 o'clock. So then my start time would be 2 o'clock. Okay, let's look at a third example, including minutes, where you get a beginning time and an end time. So I'm just, again, making something up. Let's say 12:30 p.m. Walk out at 4 p.m. Okay? Like you went to an amusement park or, NRH2O or whatever. 12:30 p.m., walk out at 4 p.m. How long were you at the amusement park? So what's interesting about this is this one you can do two ways. You can add the 2 hour, you can first go up to the next hour, or you can do hour, and then minutes. I usually like to do hour, and then minutes, because you always want to try to get the biggest chunk of time first. So 12:30 plus 1 hour is 1:30, plus 1 hour is 2:30, plus 1 hour is 3:30. Now I'm aware if I jump another hour, it'll be 4:30, which is over my time. So this part here would be 30 minutes, because 3:30 to 4 is 30 minutes. So 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. So 1, 1, 1, 3 hours and 30 minutes. So as you can see, this isn't hard. You just have to really read the question carefully. And sometimes what I teach my students is I always tell them, like, when you're reading that story and it tells you how much time or at what time, draw an X based on where, like, what information they give you. So, like, if they say so-and-so started whatever at this time, I would draw an X. And then if the story says she finished at this time, I would put an X here. But if they say she started at this time and it took her this much time, at what time did she finish, then I would do that. And that kind of helps me understand and visualize what's going on in the story. Let me